welcome to another episode of Monsta MTV. Thank you for joining me on episode 16, and as we have officially entered into the spring season, we thought it'd be great today to talk about how to clean outdoor pavers, because that is one of the things that I'm sure many of you will be up to over the next month as the rain has stopped, the cold has stopped, the frost and all the bad stuff that happens in winter time, and you'll be out there looking for jobs to do. So this is one where you can either do it the hard way or the easy way, but very important to get that yard and your driveway and surrounds and landscapes looking great. So firstly, the real simple one is if you're going to clean pavers properly, you do need to remove all your outdoor furniture and also pot plants, because as you'll know, you lift them up off the floor and you'll have marks around the perimeter of the pot. So get rid of all that. If you've got overspray that could be happening near plants, just be aware of that, because you don't want to kill your plants that you might have made sure they've had plenty of rain and water over the winter period. So once you've done that, you need to look at all the joints of your pavers and clear the moss and the weeds. If you have had weeds that you haven't taken care of, maybe a week before, get a weed killer and spray that first. Otherwise, if it's easy to remove, get the real heavy feed or growth away just mechanically, remove it, and make sure then you've got an area that you can just clean the algae and moss stains off the pavers very easily. So look, there's a couple ways of cleaning pavers, and the simple one is the chemical cleaners, and there are a few out there. They are a little bit nasty, or can be. Most of them are sodium hypochlorite based, and they will smell like a chlorine. Be aware of that. But they do work very, very well, and unfortunately there haven't been too many non-hazardous or non-chemical based cleaners that come to the market yet for that sort of stuff, but they do work well. There's many products on the market for it. Follow the instructions on how you use that. There is an environmental, more home-friendly way of doing it, and I've been told, and I've never tried this, but a friend of mine has tried it and told me that using vinegar in the external area helps. White vinegar, pure, spray that onto the pavers, let it sit and soak in, and then you'll need to use probably a soapy water solution afterwards and a stiff nylon brush to work into that, and that's normally what you're going to want to do anyway with a chemical cleaner, but that is the more user-friendly and safer one for the environment and any water that runs off there, because you don't have any chemicals going into the drain or into your garden areas. So once you've done all that, you get a good stiff nylon brush and work it into the pavers, remove any grime and excess moss stains or algae that you've got, and then you need to rinse down the area. Now, pressure cleaning is the option that a lot of you go with. You either got a gurney or a little water blaster at home, and you can see that notable difference once you apply that pressure onto the paver. Beware though, when you're doing that, you are going to likely remove the fill or the sand fill between the joints, and so that's going to create more work for you. So if you can use something that's not too heavy, you're going to give yourself less work afterwards once the pavers are clean. But whatever you need to do to clean those pavers, you'll be able to tell once you start applying that pressure and get all that grime and algae and organic staining off the pavers. Now, if you are using the chemical-based cleaners, there's just one thing I want to point out to you. Be careful you don't have things like pets around. Outdoor furniture, that sodium hypochlorite type product, they will stain plastic, a lot of them. So if you've got plastic outdoor furniture, or you might have just bought a new outdoor setting and it's nearby, any of that overspray could stain or damage those surfaces. So make sure you protect them, cover them with plastic, or get them right out the way if you can. And obviously your plants, as I mentioned earlier, because the chemicals will likely kill a lot of the plants or any gardens that you might have in terms of growing herbs and food sources around the place. So once you've got that piece sorted, you've worked that through, you then need to re-sand those joints likely. If you have, as I said, when you're pressure cleaning and you're taking that out, do that carefully. There are a number of products on the market now, and there's a couple of really good ones that actually have an additive in there that give it a bit more water resistance. So they tend to act like a bit of a lock, a paver lock in between the paver joints. refer to those products, use them to instruction, but basically what you normally do is broom them in, let them settle into that joint. Some of them will just want a light spray on top to sort of settle them in with water, and you've got your pavers cleaned and a new joint filled. Now, for your pavers to remain clean and algae and moss free, seal them if you can. There are numbers of sealers on the market. Many of them, unfortunately, will change the look of your paver. But I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip on what's going on here at Monsta within about a month. Stay tuned, because we're going to get naked on this program. And I mean, well, she's got her tail popping up. Really naked. And that, you need to stay tuned on that. It's an exciting product we're going to have launched specifically for pavers outside. Environmentally friendly, non-hazardous, easy to use, and won't change the look of your paver. So stay tuned on that. Exciting stuff coming our way. If you've got any questions on how you want to prepare your areas or anything else on pavers or external landscape areas that you're sealing or working on in springtime, give us a call or drop us a line. Monsta crew are ready to help you. Thank you again for joining on this episode. We'll see you soon.